All right, well, Willie T here. I know for a long time people asked me how I draw things for World War II online, so I thought I'd make a quick video here as sort of the steps I take. And so once I get an idea in my mind, I do a light sketch in in pencil, and it just sort of gives me my perspective that I want, and it just sort of helps me put things down before I ink it. A lot of times I just go straight ink to paper, but sometimes when I get into something that's got a little bit more complication to it, I'll do a quick sketch. So what I have in front of me is just my quick sketch, and so I just basically start from one side to the other, and I just start doing my thing here. So in this case, I've got some rats I'm going to draw some pictures of today, and they're getting ready to do some server work. So we thought we'd make a little bit of poke some fun at their server work here. So my first character I'm drawing here is Hatch. And Hatch is always sort of well known for his beard. And one of the things I like to do when I pencil it out too is if I want to make any changes because of what I'm looking at, um, this is a good opportunity for me to do it. So in this case, I want to change my mind at how his arm is placed. And this is a good time for me to do that. So again, I'm just sort of starting off with my basic stuff here. I'll get in sort of fine tune a lot of things as I get going. So I always seem to start with the characters and then I do all the background and stuff like that later, unless it's some kind of a deal where I'm trying to get where I try to get how things line up a little bit in real world. My problem is based on my profession and stuff like that. I'm gonna get a little bit too much of a perfectionist when it comes to some things. So I know that in cartoons that some things don't make sense, and I that's just part of me that just sort of sometimes I battle with is reality versus things in the cartoon world. And up here, I'm going to start working on Zoom. And so I was sort of briefed on how this was going to go through a marketing meeting. And so I was sort of given a sort of a heads up of how things are going to happen a little bit. Just as a filler, people always ask me how I learned how to draw. And the simplest answer is me, myself, and I. I haven't taken any art classes. It's just something that I used to do a lot of doodling. Sort of give away my age here, but when I was a kid, I was a Star Wars fanatic and didn't have a lot of money for all the things that I wanted Star Wars related, so I drew things. And actually wanted some Star Wars figures one time, and of course we couldn't afford them. And so I took some old beer bottles that I found, and I drew the pictures of stormtroopers and all the characters I want, and I pasted them on the front. Boy, I had a lot of fun with them too. And then eventually, for my birthday, I ended up getting the Star Wars figures I wanted, and they were just never quite as fun as all the ones I had with the ones pasted with the beer bottles. So that sort of started me drawing, and then in 1980, Mount St. Helens blew up here, and school was canceled, and I couldn't do nothing, so I sat in here and did some drawings, and I drew some pictures of my dog that I had at the time and how he was having such a tough time with all the volcanic acid that was falling outside. And from there on, it just sort of propagated. I see all these memes on Facebook and stuff like this about how I think I look and how I actually look. And I'm sort of thinking to myself, I bet you the rats really want this to look like they were on the bridge of the Star Trek USS Enterprise or something like that, or the Voyager, and they're, flipping buttons and pulling stuff out, and the computer's doing a lot of the work for them, and they probably think they're really doing a good job at getting all this stuff together, but in reality, they probably look like more like And that's pretty much it. I'll probably do a little bit of touch-up work and connect some lines so that it makes my coloring process a little bit easier, but that's pretty much how I put it down on paper. So the captioning and stuff like that, I'm going to leave as a surprise right now, and I'm sure that the rats will post this cartoon up here, and I hope everybody enjoys it. So I'll do this again real soon sometime, and I thank everybody for watching. Thanks, bye-bye.